Okay, here we are. It is Wednesday afternoon, and it is time for us to get some work done on the final member of our live cast, Twistina Knotley, the fan service pretzel lady. That's who we're going to be working on today. It's what we've got going on. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff today. So I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. I hope you are keeping it real. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty worn out this week. I've had a bit of a headache most of the day. Like the name, Twistina Knotley. We're gonna do our best to create a pretzel lady who serves the fans. And I honestly have no idea how I'm going to make this work. This is like, might be as when I was doing the, okay, so I was drawing the pretzel with the lips and everything for the thumbnail. If you don't know what I'm talking, if you didn't see the thumbnail for whatever reason, this character, I was drawing this, earlier. And I was like, this might literally be the most insane thing I've drawn yet. Like, and I feel like that's really saying something because I've drawn some pretty crazy things. But I think I'm up to the challenge. I have no idea exactly how I'm going to do it at this point, but we're gonna do our best. I think we're gonna definitely try something crazy today. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna figure something out. The first thing I was doing, I actually was just doing some little research here. I think I'm gonna head over to the Pose archives and see if I can't find a good pose for Twistina Pretzel. The pose archives are a great tool. They're on DeviantArt. They've just a ton of really awesome character reference poses. And I think we can find some cool stuff here. Just great shapes. That's what I'm looking for. Some just good shapes, I think. And they're pretty well, what I like about their site is that it's pretty well organized, and they actually have a section that is like sexy poses. So it's a start, I guess. I don't know what I'm looking for at all here. It just doesn't. I'm just gonna figure something out. I'm gonna just find something that looks human and then make it into a pretzel. I'll figure something out. It'll work out. It's important to know that their pinup pose section is not just female models. They have male models in here also, which I think is good. Just saying, that's the way sometimes these things go down. So we're just looking for somebody doing something natural. This isn't too bad. Maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea what I'm going to do here. It's a whole thing. I do know that we want to start maybe with some gesture and see where we go. So like maybe just do a little like start with like a little body shaping. So we'll come in here and we'll be like, start with the little head shape, little neck, rib cage action going on, hips. This is massively out of proportion. I'm used to drawing cartoons. I just googled humanoid pretzel. I dare you to do the same. Very odd. Okay. I'm going to do it. Images. Humanoid pretzel. If this is going to be terrifying. I might have to just quit streaming and. Oh God. Oh God. The terrifying level of AI art here is overwhelming me right now. This is not okay. This is not okay. Oh. I think I'm going to start with humanoid and then work in the pretzel. I think is my plan here. So I'm going to use human reference and then figure it out. Oh God, this is terrifying. Why? Okay. So let's see. She's standing something like this. These are her hips like this. Got one shoulder here, one shoulder here. Arm. This feels like a fairly natural pose to me. Like she's got her hands in her tucked into her those things on your belt that are loops, belt loops. The word I was trying to think of just now was belt loops. So like that, there's her neck. Actually, his head is tucked back in like this. So this is the pose, basically. Why am I so bad at drawing links of people today? Okay. I'm like, all of a sudden torso is 10 times longer. I didn't think it was terrifying, but definitely disturbing. You know what? Maybe I'm going about this all the wrong way. I just want to do. I know what I'm trying to accomplish here is, hourglass figure. Basically. That's what we're going for. So how do we do that as a pretzel? That's hyper proportioned. I'm not obviously going for that level of hourglass figure. And also maybe not necessarily straight on because, little much. So maybe we do just start with like, here's a head shape. And here's our hourglass shape, so to speak. And then a little leg action here. Swashing. So this arm is going to come back like this. Little like this. The other hand up to the face. That arm is not in good shape there. There. That'll work. Maybe something a little more like this is what I'm looking for here. Little more Marilyn Monroe. This isn't quite the pose that I was looking at, but I can definitely see how they're related. So maybe a little something like this. And then maybe we figure out how to make this into a pretzel shape. So, what's our plan here? Okay, so pretzels. Okay, let's see. What would it look like if you took the thumbnail and just extend the middle twist into legs? Okay, we can try that. Let's copy layer group. Let's try something. Let's give it a try. Paste layer group. So if we brought it down maybe like this, and then full on extended these out into legs, like something like this maybe. This wasn't really intended to, obviously I would have to redraw some of this, but like maybe another arm over on this side. Sexy pose. I didn't know how weird or disturbing it would be. Here's the thing is this is kind of the direction my brain was going here. So I was thinking, what if instead of one pretzel to make the pretzel body, we did a couple of pretzels? So what if we did something more like this? So we've got like 2 pretzel action, and then also then our head becomes a pretzel. So like have them twist down and not out. Ooh, that could work too. So like similar idea here, but instead of being like this, then like becomes literally a head on top of a second pretzel. You could twist down. So you got like, oh, twisty. I'm going to switch color here real quick. Do a little darker so I can see what I'm doing. Twisty, 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 leg, leg. And what I was thinking with that is then these could butterfly a little. Like this. To be a little more curvaceous. Is kind of what I was thinking about here. And then have that hand come over to this hip again. And this hand come up here to the head. So that was kind of a thing I was thinking. Something more like that. Bye. Maybe refine this a little bit. I'm just tossing suggestions, but I always try to see what works best. Yeah, I'm brainstorming. Like I said, I have absolutely no idea what I was going to do today. I knew I had 90 minutes to do it though. So I knew I had plenty of time to do some brainstorming. So, and I'm not like, it is not uncommon for me. I'll show you. So just to give you an idea of, I try to make myself seem like I know what I'm doing on these streams, and maybe that's a disservice. Maybe that's a disservice to you guys. But this was me working out my Stinktober for today. So you can see I had like 9 completely different ideas. I ideated and iterated on them. So yeah, sometimes the process is all about just figuring some stuff out. Because here is another idea. I kind of like having this base body here that I can draw on top of. What if like the head is a pretzel, right? What if we go with a pretzel head? So there's a real base there. Boo-doo-boo. And then these are the eyes. And we come down and we have mouth coming off the base of the pretzel. So like the pretzel bits here would be more like coming around like this. This is a fun little Mobius strip pretzel thing here. So like it's all one continuous loop of pretzel. And then eyes like this. And then those big lips again down here. And then I was thinking like, because I was like, what if it's double pretzel? Then this shoulder becomes kind of a pretzel shape here. Comes down and hearts into a hip. Kind of like we were just saying. This comes up and pretzel shapes around this way into another little hip. And then instead of worrying about how these connect onto the body logistically, like realistically, we cover it up with her pants. So we give her some volume that she doesn't actually have. And this is not necessarily a great pose for this. And then like maybe because she's in a slasher flick, she's wearing one of those sweaters that hangs off the shoulder. So something like this. And then I kind of wanted an excuse to put her, really, I'm putting her hand up by her face as kind of a little bit of a tribute to Garrett. But maybe we give her a cell phone. Now she has an excuse to have her face, hand up by her face. So maybe something like that. We come in here and try cleaning up some of that line art. So there's multiple pretzel layers going on here. I kind of like this concept, but I'm not sure I like how the head connects. And I'm not sure, again, this pose is not the perfect pose for this character. But it's okay. This kind of gives me a concept direction. So we'll shrink you up and put you over here. We can do the same with this. Turn this guy, shrink you up, put you over here. Just kind of play with some concepts a little bit and see what we can come up with. Turn your legs back on. Put you over here. I actually don't hate this right here. Like the don't be too worried about Googling pretzel people has a couple of things that may assist. Okay. A lot of of course, Google is very algorithmically driven, so it's based on things we've interacted with in the past now. My Google is like half people in some sort of weird, painful yoga pose, and then the rest of it is just terrifying AI. Oh, these are upside down. These are like actual pretzel people, and they're up. Oh, I see it. I have returned. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. So, like, some of these turn your legs back on. Yeah. Things you say sometimes, you know? Some of these are like, what if it was upside down? Oops, this is not how you draw a pretzel person. Whoop. Whoop. So like the legs come off as pretzel bits. I'm gonna clear that. So here's what I'm thinking. I actually really like this one now that I'm looking at the thumbnail. So I'm going to kind of try working through something like that, but maybe bringing out a little bit more exaggeration in the shape. So I want to, and work the pose better. So I want to have kind of my thorough line of the pose being something like this. And just having it be a little up like that. And then shoulder here. Have it coming out like this. So I'm just kind of gesturing the pose real fast. So like something more like this as the overall pose. Right. But with this kind of art. That's what I'm going for right here. I think it'll work out pretty well. I think I can do this. I'm gonna bring this down and merge it here. So I can try bringing back my big ol' chonky brush and my purple, magenta, and let's see if we can't make this work. So GE1, how are you doing today? Are you having a great Wednesday afternoon? Oops, I'm on. There we go. So I'm going to come down here. We're going to come down like this and have this come in here like this. And then the other one will come like this. So those are our two, I don't know, pretzel offshoots. And then I think what I'll do is have them knotted up a little bit so they wrap more than once around each other. So we'll do something like this. as a bit of our this leg coming up and going. And then this comes over here and loops way around like this. And around behind. And this one loops around like so. Okay. And then if I come back down here, we can squash and stretch our model to match our basic pretzel shape again. So kind of like that. This is so silly, but I like it. I'm really enjoying it. And then actually I'm going to no idea what just happened. My Adobe Fresco is giving me a hard time again. Okay, hopefully I didn't lose too much work just there. I restarted all of my stuff. Oh, yeah, there you go. Hang on just a second. Let's turn that off here for just a second. Scenes. So I can close this out and reopen it. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's been crazy fun time for me. Okay. I have no idea what happened. Look at this. This craziness is going on. I don't know what has happened at all. I guess I'm starting over. That's okay. That's okay. I know what I was doing. I've got an idea of what I was doing. It'll be fine. So we have one leg coming up like this. Just looping it down and around. And then the other leg comes out like this. That's not the pose I was working on. Hang on here. Good. I'm glad that's what you were imagining. I think that's going to be what I'm going to go with. I just got to make it work now. Now that I broke my computer or my tablet quit working on me. So I'm going to clear you. I'm going to hide all of this. Okay. Regrounding, recentering, reevaluating my life choices. Still willing to do this. Okay, we can figure this out. I am having a fun time. I hope everybody else is also having a fun time. I hope you are having a great Wednesday. Okay, let's redo this. Okay, so I'm going to do the gesture drawing again. And that is hip, leg, foot, leg coming back, standing on the toes, chest, out, shoulder, arm, hand, neck, head, shoulder, arm, phone. Okay, so our pose is set again. I'm going to move it back to center. Center. There. And squash and stretch. Because that is a thing we can do. We're allowed to do that. And then I'm actually just going to resize it to fill up more of the canvas here. There. Okay, so we're back to here. We're back where we want to be. I'm going to lower your opacity. And also, as cool as this little drawing is, I'm going to hide it because it's distracting me. Okay, so we'll go with one leg coming up like this. And then the other leg coming around like this. And then these two twist. And then we'll have an arm like this, or a shoulder come like this, like this. Okay. So this needs to connect across here with this one. And this one needs to connect across here like this. So this becomes this like this. This one comes like this. I'm just drawing back behind what I was just did so that I can, in my mind, see how the shape comes into fruition, like how it actually exists in the geometry. And then we put eyeballs, mouth, like there. I'm just going to kind of circle in a face zone. And then we make a little, call this a shoulder and call this a shoulder. So this hand comes over and is on this hip. Like this. And this hand, I guess at this point, because the body shape is so weirdly morphed, up here holding the phone coming off this way. And then, of course, we still give her feet. Like so. Okay. This is something. I think I can make this really look cool. I think this is going to be a lot of cool work going into here. So let's go ahead and start doing some detail stuff. Just add some things. I just kind of want to get the face mask shaping. It's helpful for me to have something like that where I just kind of have a little bit of an actual like mask positioning to know where the facial features go. Okay, so we're going to start with, I think we're going to start with the face. I might even start with the lips. Is it twisted? It is super twisted. So we're going to go little smile, little coy smile, I think. This is where I could bring this back because I actually was really proud of these lips. I think I did a great job on them. And then if this is like this. So something like that. And then we'll give her big eyes with huge eyelashes. Like so. So we'll start there. That's what I've decided I'm going to start. And then go ahead and do the curviness outline of the body here. And maybe we pull that in a little more. Maybe we hyper exaggerate that curviness even a little bit more. It's just part of the character trope, so we'll do that. So really pulling those shapes. And so this is now a pretzel body shape. And then this one comes down like so. This one comes down like so. Okay, I'm actually going to do these one at a time. So this one is the top, so it's going to come across. And then let's do like a green for the background so I can shape how it twists like that. And then back to the purple. Like that. And then this one comes underneath. And over. And then across. What am I doing here? Okay, so coming down from the top, it comes underneath. And then across. Okay. Yeah. Then across on top and then back underneath to come out over here. And then actually this should be on top, right? No, what the heck? Yes, no. Adding more than one twist has screwed me up. Yeah, because they actually both will have two. Okay, yes, that's fine. That's fine. That works. And then, like I said, we'll just some little feet. Just want to make sure I know where the toe line is on both of these feet. All right, so now again, arm comes off here. Let's like this. So here is a little anatomy trick for anyone who ever struggles with anatomy when drawing. I often screw up the length of the arm, especially like the forearm and upper arm comparatively. So one thing you can do is draw a line and then like perpendicular line it. And that gives you your elbow location. And that helps you kind of perspective the arm lengths. So I'm going to turn that down and then I'm going to bring you in here. But I think that's good. I think that's what I was looking for there. I think we got something. What I forgot to do though, is I forgot to give her any kind of clothing. I am going to bring back, I think, that concept of an off-the-shoulder sweater. And I'm going to have to really stretch my brain here to get this exactly looking cool. Sweater. Off-the-shoulder sweater, not swimsuit. Always work off of references. It just makes my life easier. So we'll do something like start here and bring it down. Going a little bit past on each side just so we can loop out and around. So a little something like that, maybe. And then that arm would come down and just maybe bunched up around the arm a little like here. There. So something like that I think works. And then wrist. And then hand. So if we got a hand, like that, then this can just hang like this, and it's kind of a little hangy. Curves around for the leg. Then we'll give her like little capris, I think, as pants. Little 90s action. Capris were pretty popular in the 90s. Something like there. And then so legs down like this into pointy shoes. And we'll do the same thing over here. It's a little point. This shoe maybe shows us that it's heels. There. So that connects our clothes and gives us a nice outfit to go with our character. So I think we're good. I think we did some good work there. I'm glad that I had an entire night to work on this character. So again, I'm just going to, I think actually I'm going to start. Let's do this line first. I'm not happy with that. Back across. I've got a little tiny bit of shake in my hand today. It's because I've actually already done a lot of drawing today. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of had everything done, so I didn't have to worry about getting anything done for tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the very last day of the C Street Market for the season. We are doing a trunk or treat tomorrow afternoon, 4 to 8. It's going to be I'm going to have a lot of fun. But I knew right now I'm taking on a lot of challenges, and that might be hard to get done in the time. So I worked really hard to get a bunch of stuff done today for tomorrow. Also, tomorrow is my favorite day of the year. I don't like these eyes being this round. I'm going to bring them back to being ovals. I absolutely love Halloween. I wish I still had more costume stuff. I was very sad to discover that my costume stuff did not necessarily make it all down from Montana, and if it did, I don't know exactly where it is. I was doing this earlier. I was like, why can't I get these these curves lined up the way I want? And then I remembered that it's vector art and I can use the trimming tool to trim my way through it. So, just big old long eyelashes. I'm actually surprised this trope still exists, but there are definitely still modern versions of Miss Fan Service. Although there's Mr. Fan Service is becoming more common also. If you're not aware of television tropes, tvtropes.com, I am a huge fan of tropes. It's part of my hardcore pop culture obsession. So, it can be a lot of fun. I actually, once upon a time, shortly after I got my master's degree, I looked into getting a doctorate. And the program I really, really wanted to join was a program, a sociology and anthropology program about specifically American pop culture. And there's a part of me that still really wishes I did that, because I think it would be so much fun, one, to force people to call me Dr. Matt. And also because I feel like what we love as a society is kind of a really good indicator of who we are as a society. And so the study of pop culture is, to me, actually a really worthwhile academic pursuit. Outside even just the concepts of tropes and necessary scenes and things that I've always relied on as a creative, just that whole field of study is cool to me. And so I really, really considered it for a long time. I was talked out of pursuing a doctorate by a friend who has a doctorate, and was like, it's a lot of work for absolutely no benefit. And so unless you want to spend your entire life basically studying the thing that you have a doctorate in, if you want to be an academic, there's no point in getting one. And I don't know that I'm willing to dedicate my entire life to any one thing. That sounds really boring and hard to me. The 5 years it would take to get the diploma would probably be all the more attention span I would have for the topic. Which, yeah, is sad, but that's who I am as a person. It's the same thing that has made it difficult for me in my private life, my personal career, creative career, to really get into YouTube and things like that in the past. Professionally, I have done a lot of social media marketing, and I'm pretty good at it. So it's kind of always one of those things that's frustrating to me, because one of the secrets is to have the one thing that you're going to be talking about, which was easy when you're a professional. When someone is hiring you to help them with that, your one thing is them. It's someone else's thing. But I'm like, ooh, I don't necessarily want to spend the rest of my life making YouTube videos about organizational culture or whatever, even though I could. So that's what has made not niching is kind of basically what they use that term, although I hate the term niching and it is a definite dirty lie. But having your unique single thing that you talk about definitely makes life easier as a content creator. And I just have never been able to bring myself to do that. I don't know that I ever will. So basically, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you want to get a doctorate degree, you have to get a niche down into doctoratism. And I don't know that I want to limit myself that way. So I guess no one's going to call me doctor anytime soon is kind of the moral of the story. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this in. This. bring this down to her little elbow and back up to her shoulder. Like so. This has already turned out better than it had any right to turn out. Like, this already looks pretty good, in my opinion. Is this? Yeah, that makes sense. That's how hands work. For people who spend a significant amount of time studying how bodies are shaped so they can draw them, you will never find people questioning thumb positioning more than artists. I have been in so many situations where I personally have been like, wait a minute, is this how thumbs work? And also, I have been watching other artists on live streams like this who are like, wait a minute. Is this how thumbs work? And it's crazy because it's part of what you do as an artist is study that specific type of thing, you know? But you always question yourself. You're always questioning yourself. All right, and then bring this up. Bring it over to where I can actually get my shoulder into the stroke. There we go. So if I'm being completely open and honest, which I always like to be, try to be open as open and honest as I can be most of the time. Part of what has me a little down today is that I made a YouTube short. I put it live last night, and I put a lot of work into it. Like the whole idea behind it, I thought it was going to be a thing. I thought it was going to be part of like my approach. And I talked about something a little personal to me, like giving yourself permission to do things. And, you know, I was trying to be positive and motivational. And YouTube has shown it to absolutely nobody. It is still like fits with the other content on my channel. I did a lot of like it has a drawing with it and things like that. It's not just me talking, but it has zero, like literally the impressions aren't even high. So it's like not even getting it a chance for people to see it. And I know that's how these things go. Like that's the nature of the beast, but it's always disheartening when these situations come up like this because creation is painful a lot of the time. And I've always been able to rely on my like a willingness to be radically honest about all the crap that goes on in my brain as a way to connect with an audience and find those moments. And I really thought this was going to be a thing that would work for me, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to, which is a shame. So this is my line art, and I think this came out really good. Like, I feel like this is way better than it should have been. And I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, I almost forgot to salt her. There are people. Did you know there are people in this world that do not like salt on their pretzels? I didn't even know you were legally allowed to call it a pretzel if it didn't have salt on it. That was a weird tangent. I'm sorry. But it's been a week. I think a big part of what's going on with me right now is, in addition to season change, and let's face it, season changes have a huge impact, especially on people with certain types of mental health things going on. It is the season change, but it's also like my thing that I do that gets me out of the house and like makes me a little bit of money is going away. And that's when I go and see the people I like to see. Like I get to hang out with people. and just like be around humans that are not my parents and are actually humans and not just golden doodles. So that's a bit of it. In general, there is something about this time of year. Like normally it hits me a little bit more in September because it's my birthday that really brings it up, where I start to reflect where I'm at and what I've accomplished and give myself a hard time for not doing a million, billion, trillion things. Just real jerk brain stuff. And I think a little bit of that got pushed off this year because I was so busy. I like the salt, but sometimes I remove some of it because they went overboard. Fair enough. That's lightly salted. That's still a salted pretzel. It's still salty. I just think it's a whole bunch of stuff. And it's just, I think a lot of it is that just this time of year gets to me and I've put it off longer than I normally would have been able to because I was busy and working on so many things. And it's all kind of catching up to me, which probably means that I just need to take this like weekend after I get done with the market and just have a little vacation, a little day off for myself. So fun thing I did. This is a little too dark, I think. I went and did some color psychology research. I kind of had a feeling going into other characters what colors they should be. Their colors definitely like matched who they were as characters. And I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to do it for our pretzel lady here. So I went and did some research and did some color psychology, some color theory type stuff, and settled on purple because purple is the color of passion. And if I'm going to put a positive spin on the character trope, it is the person with the most passion and joie de vivre. So that's why I did what I did. I think I should be able to steal the colors right off of this pretzel. There we go. And then I don't have to reinvent the pretzel color wheel, because we'll just use the same pretzel colors as the other one I did. And then part of the reason that I did like lighter color and darker color here is because pretzels don't cook evenly. One thing I am very fond of my knowledge of, and I learned this from the self-publishing podcast, I know the difference between a pretzel and a bialy. So that's a thing. I'm going to make this the hands the lighter color part of the pretzel. Leave the legs the darker, but the hands a little lighter. So I can come through like this. If you didn't know, pretzel people are very like definitive of what is and is not a pretzel. I had no idea. I had no idea there was a whole pretzel culture. I mean, I understood that pretzel comes from a culture, but like there's a whole like subcategory of foodies that are pretzel people. And they are hardcore. But one of the writers from self-publishing podcast, Johnny B. Truitt, dang it, used to work as a cook in a pretzel cafe. And his first ever book is basically his autobiography. It's called Bialy Pimps. And it's about how they were trying to like be hustle culture back in college. But okay, so anyway, the big important thing to note, the big difference between the two is that bagels have a hole in them and Bialys do not. That's the thing to know. Sorry. That's my little piece of trivia for the day. Okay, so let's add some shading in here. Our standard 80% gray. And we're just gonna enjoy this. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of shape, I think, depth to my salt crystals while I'm at it. Bring you down like this. And just a little bit of shape depth in the salt crystal. I also have been working today, for those of you who get excited about things. I've been working on the secret surprise for the October Patreon pack. And I think it might be the coolest thing I've done so far. So I hope everyone enjoys it, because it might actually become a staple of things I do if it works out the way I want it to. I'll tell you part of it because it's not the part that's super cool. Part of what I've been working on, I am a hardcore bullet journaler. I think most people who have met me in person probably know that about me. I am very adamant about it. And I have always designed my own trackers. And for a long time, I actually even like had my own printable trackers that I had printed onto sticker paper and then would paste into notebooks so I didn't have to worry about like inking or anything. And one of the things I've been doing as the special surprises for October, which again is this is not the one that I want to keep really secret, but I still think it's cool, and I think it's so it's not really so much a surprise as one of the things I've been working on for you guys for October is turning those sticker packs, theming them with our monstrous support, those sticker packs, those tracker templates, those bullet journal tracker templates, theming them for our monstrous support group. And then I'm putting them in a Google Drive doc or a Google Drive folder that I will share with you guys as actual printables. So you can print them off and use them if you wanted to. And that's been kind of fun to work on. And that leads kind of into the other thing that I'm working on that I'm not going to tell you about because I want it to be a cool surprise, like with the ID card bookmarks. One thing, as I was working on them, I was actually feeling a little sad because I got to see so many people open their library run amok packs and got to see their live reactions to the bookmarks. And so I'm a little sad. One of the things that I'm going to be most sad about with the market being gone is I'm not going to get to see any live reactions. So if you are so inclined, if you remember the Patreon and you're watching this and you're so inclined to, if you're inclined to do so, I personally would think it was really awesome if you did an unboxing of your Patreon pack so that I can see your reactions to it, because I really would love to see that. It really made my day seeing people get excited over the bookmarks. And they're just, some little bookmarks that I made. And like I said, I think one of the things I'm doing this month might be the coolest thing I've personally, the coolest thing I think, for me, the coolest thing I've done. I don't know, some people really like bookmarks, so they might not be as cool as that to some people, but for me, I think it's the coolest thing I've done. It's very punk rock. That's my secret way of talking about it. If you know anything about scenes, you might know. You'll be like, oh, this is exactly what he was talking. This is what he meant by that. This is very punk rock, very scene, very emo kid. It's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to that. I've also started because I should and wanted to. I started brainstorming some concepts to go with these guys. So we had talked about probably having the card, like a small print that goes with the ones I'm sending you, with the bigger prints of the movie folk. Like the 8x10 will be the movie poster for the Carver, and then have a smaller print that goes with the sticker pack of the cast at the movie premiere. So it's kind of all I was like, what else could I do along those lines to give you guys some stuff that would be cool and fit with that theme? So I was thinking making some ticket stub bookmarks would be cool. Things like that. That's all still in the brainstormy phase, though. I haven't done any production work on any of that yet. Of course, I still haven't finished all of the art for November at this point in time. I think I'm just going to put this whole leg in shadow like that. And have this leg mostly in shadow. And some more curvy depth to it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm working on. I'm also working at maybe until I start an actual job, which hopefully is soon. Doing some more production work, video stuff, and trying to just make more cool stuff for you guys. So that's the plan. That's where I'm at. I'm a little sad because Stinktober ends, and I had a lot of fun with that, and I have no idea what kind of art challenge I'm going to do for November. Probably not do one, because I probably need to be working on merch. Okay, that looks good. I am proud of this image. I think this looks good. I think we did a good job with it. I think it came out great. Very curvy pretzel. And even though I put clothes on her so you can't tell that all of her legs are pretzel, we'll know. We'll always know. That will be a secret for us. I do think I want to add some highlights also. I think that would be, especially on these lips. These lips really need some highlights. Big juicy lips. Yeah, like that. That's fun. just a little bit of highlight. Here's the thing about a project like this, where I do it over the course of multiple days instead of all at once. As I'm working on something like Stinktober, or my daily zombie this week is really the one that I put so much effort into. I hope that everyone gets to see, keep an eye out for tomorrow's daily zombie. I put a lot of extra work into him, and I learned a lot about very subtle highlight power from working on it. And so, like, but what I was saying is, like, the thing with doing that on a project like this is that now I haven't done that on the other characters, and really just want to play with it all the time now that I've got that tool in my toolkit. And so there becomes inconsistencies. I'll have to go back and refine the other characters to add some real subtle highlights to them, because it just adds something. It adds a little bit of something to the image in a way that I was never really, I've always tried to overdo it, I think, is my problem. Because I like high saturation colors in my art, I also have always liked like high contrast. And subtlety is just a thing I've been trying to learn and master and do a little bit better on. So hopefully I have done that on this. Boom, there she is. What started as just a little bit of an experiment has become something I think truly grand. These are so good. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I was really not sure at the start of the stream how this was going to turn out. But she is a pretzel, and I would say she has that joie de vivre we were going for. I hope you're having a great time. I know it's Wednesday is a hit or miss day a lot of the time for a lot of people. But I'm actually calling this one done. I think it came out really well. That concept was great. I think she looks awesome. So if I'm being completely honest, this sketchy one, I'll turn the legs back off. This one that I did just for the thumbnail, the like little real basic like concept drawing, this made me go, my concept drawing sketches are probably good enough to be stickers in and of themselves. I just really like this specific image here, but fully fleshed out, she definitely fits as a member of the cast of the Carver. And we could recap real fast what those look like. So, let's see. Just a little preview of some stuff I've been working on. Boop. So, we had, on Monday, we made Rick Dillman, our pickle jock, and Duncan something or other. I suddenly can't remember his pun name. Duncan was a big part of the pun because he's from Dunkin' Donuts. Where's my notes in Obsidian? Duncan, what is your last name, Duncan? Duncan O'Leary. I guess O'Leary is just a name I came up with. It wasn't really part of the pun. But he is a bear claw nerd. And then I guess the other ones I've moved off my iPad, so I can't really show them. But I think we did a pretty good job here. They're not in there anymore. Okay. She came out great. Twistina Knotley. It is a little early for me to call the stream tonight. I normally stream until about 5:30, but we got this done. And I don't really have anything else to work on because I want a full stream to work on our slasher, the Carver. So I will, on Friday night, pick up at 4:00 p.m. back here on the YouTube channel, and we will draw our movie villain, who, unlike the rest of our cast, is not made of food. Our villain is a pizza cutter with pizza cutter hands, wielding a chainsaw pizza cutter, and is also a vampire, because that is how well this movie was written. It's gonna have a lot of fun working on that guy. He's gonna be a great character concept. I think we will really enjoy coming up with some fun ways to twist and pull that guy a lot. So if you would like to see me work on that, please come back on Friday at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. If you would like to get your hands on the cast of the Carver as a sticker pack, then head over to patreon.com/Taco Viking Studio to get your hands on this sticker pack and every sticker pack going forward. Anyone who subscribes to the Patreon, by tomorrow at midnight will get a hold of the October sticker pack, which is the Monstrous Support Group, featuring a whole cast of different monsters that represent neurodiversity and mental illness in media. And at the print tier or higher, you can get your hands on a one-of-a-kind print. Well, I shouldn't say one-of-a-kind, an exclusive print. I have one right here. This is my copy. It is a hand-drawn version of our monster support group using a style inspired by Shel Silverstein as the basis, and then a poem that I wrote myself about our support group. Each sticker of the month in the support group has their line of the poem on it. I happen to have some Grim Reapers here. Graham, the Grim Reaper, is their support group counselor. So if you would like to get your hands on those, you have until midnight tomorrow to join the Patreon. If you want to get your hands on the Carver sticker set, you can wait until November, I guess. I'm also working on some printables and stuff for the Patreon group. Anything in my Patreon, I've made the promise, anything that I will do as a printable or downloadable or high-res file that I would normally sell will be free to the patrons or included in their Patreon pledge. So thank you for your support. Thank you for coming and hanging out and watching me draw Pretzel Lady. I hope you will come back on Friday. If you enjoyed this video, give it a little of a thumbs up, and maybe share it with someone you think needs to have a conversation about pretzels. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I will be back on Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And as always, remember,